In our educational ecosystem, we want to innovate, but we need organizations like the UCD to inspire us, to nurture our ecosystem and eventually help us sow the seeds to create our own success. Our students have challenges in the future that are really unpredictable, thinking about jobs that don't exist, but also the emergence of AI in society. What are the effects on that? We need to prepare our students for that uncertain future, but also to live a fulfilling life as a person. So we have to work on mental well-being, we have to work on finding a place in society, and that's not just cognitive. We need to guide our students and we need to innovate our education for that.
The OMO collaboration between the UCD Innovation Academy through the Entrepreneurial Educators Programme and the wider OMO group of schools is in its first instance a groundbreaking collaboration for both parties. From an OMO perspective, they're looking to transform, change and reimagine education in the Dutch education system.
OMO is the biggest organisation for secondary education in the Netherlands. There's over 60 schools, 7,000 employers, 60,000 students, and OMO tries to connect the schools and tries to grow together.
UCD Innovation Academy designs learning experiences and programs for educators across the world in order to give them space to practice a creative, innovative mindset. And also we connect those educators across the globe in different ways.
The Entrepreneurial Educators Programme sets out to introduce learners into a space where they can create, collaborate and engage with like-minded learners and develop a community of practice.
We need to change, we need to transform from a classical education to modern, inspiring education. It's very hard to change. And people who did the program are able to change and can influence other people to change as well.
Seeing the size of the organisation and the responsibility that OMO has for its students, I think innovation is not just important, I think it's absolutely essential for the future of educational development.
Our society is always changing, is always innovating. The world is always changing and always innovating. And our educational system should prepare our students for the future. And if the future is changing, you need to learn at school how you're going to adapt to those changes. And that's why we need innovation in our educational system.
We promise our students flexible and innovative education, and as teachers it's our job to make time and space to transform education to fulfill those needs.
There's a lot of students that don't feel motivated in school. And we have to change this in order to keep up with them and keep up with the world that is changing.
We are always preparing students for what is the unknown, unpredictable future. It's important that we try, insofar as we can, give them the skills that they need to be able to deal with that.
Entrepreneurial education encompasses key skills, key entrepreneurial skills, but bringing them into your life. Understanding failure as a learning journey, understanding problems as not problems, as opportunities, being flexible and adaptable to how you have to change in an ever-changing world, and understanding that being creative and being innovative is not a lone journey, it's a collaborative journey.
Working with the OMO leaders has been really inspiring because they are people in education who have enormous passion and drive and energy. They care deeply about their colleagues, they care deeply about the students. So it's our job in the Innovation Academy to create a space where they can come together, connect in a meaningful way, have some fun and develop their own creative mindset so they can bring that back and support their colleagues and teachers and team members.
The entrepreneurial mindset with teachers, I think it gives them the opportunity to think and act in a different way than they have, and they should get some more self-confidence about that and just start doing it. You have these great ideas, why don't you apply that with your students and try out?
The idea of creative innovation is the entrepreneurial mindset, but also the educational leadership. Those three things combined, I thought was a really strong situation where you can really go to a more in-depth development of education. When I went to Dublin for the program, what I really liked about it was the fact that the philosophy was put into practice at every stage.
I met a lot of new people, had a lot of new insights, and we want to work together and we want to innovate, and we are not scared to look at ourselves and learn from each other.
If you're challenged with solving a problem together, really the address or the name of your school doesn't really matter anymore, because you've got the challenge and you're there to do it together. You roll your sleeves up and you get on with the job.
What was really inspiring for me is to see so many different speakers from different countries with different expertise, and it's just they gave me a lot of information, so I feel like we were in our heads but also in our hearts and with our hands. So we get some information and then we can feel like, what do you think about it, or how do you want to use it with your hands? So all the connection of the whole person for me was very important.
International collaboration is really important for innovation, because the Dutch system is the Dutch system, and we only know the Dutch system for education. And there's so much more to gain from other countries, and not just in systems, but also in mentality and approaches to education.
The fun thing is that sometimes they don't actually know what they've learned until you get them back at school, and then suddenly you have this meeting and they said, well, maybe I can help out, and you see all these exercises that they never did before, and they just started using your stuff, and they actually get all this energy because it's working.
One of the things I do in my lessons now is at the end I like to reflect with them on something that went well and not just focus on something that could have been improved. Because if you understand what went well and why it went well, you can repeat that success.
For me, the program brought me more awareness of the ripple effect, because what I can do on a daily basis, what is the effect on my students and the effect on the world.
I think the most important impact I've seen so far in the OMO program, working with teachers and leaders, is the importance of connection. We don't always have a lot of space for connection in education, and the people who have been involved in the program have really taken the invitation to connect with each other, and we can already see the ripple effect of the program taking place with new things happening in schools. People are forming relationships that weren't there before. For us, a community of practice is one of the most valuable assets of this program, and it's the thing that stays when we in the Innovation Academy leave the building. That community of practice is the thing that always grows. Working with OMO teachers and leaders on the Educators program has been a real invigorating experience to see people coming together in a way that they haven't before, with passion for education and passion for changing the educational experience, not just within the OMO group, but within education in the Netherlands and beyond.
Education around the globe, is changing. Economies are changing, societies are changing, and cultures are changing. And most educational systems have not changed fast enough. So this collaboration demonstrates the need, it demonstrates the want, and it also demonstrates that it can be done.
I can't be the only one innovating in my school. I need other teachers around me. I need colleagues around me with the same mindset, with the same ambitions.
The fun part for me was that I've been looking for something like this, and I had the feeling of doing this on my own, and then I was in your class with this group, and then these guys all think like this, so I'm not the crazy person anymore.
In the world right now, education is a force for good and an enormous light. If we can connect those points of light across the globe, then we will only get stronger.